Season 4, Episode 49 of Brackets, Bubbles, and Bit Stealers. I am Sam Fetterman. That is Jonathan Lidskin. And folks, it's possible that you are listening to us right now or at some point in the future on the brand new Brackets, Bubbles, and BitStealers.com. Very excited to have launched the website, but I did bury the lead. Jonathan, what's the lead?
The lead is that this is March, Sam. As it says on the top, this is March. Not where I am, but for all intents and purposes,
in
it's March.
Podcast time, this is March.
Yes, correct.
So, Brackets, Bubbles, and BitStealers.com, 2 articles currently available.
Mm-hmm.
One from me talking about why UConn, Houston, and Purdue are the 3 national championship contenders at the moment. And one from Jonathan just going over his rules for the March Madness Bracket Bible. It's March. We got the Rothstein tweet. Like, we're officially here.
The Rothstein tweet hits different until the end of time, if we're being honest. Like,
oh my god, it's remarkable.
And I don't know if like it was because this year's a leap year, but it felt like college basketball Twitter was like extra restless today.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like some of the arguments I got into today, and I don't get into many arguments these days.
Oh man, there were 2 really bad ones.
Like, oh my god.
Northwestern fan that wants to that doesn't think that losses matter and doesn't think that
he just wanted to abolish half the team sheet. Like, I don't know what his argument.
And Syracuse fan who thinks Judah Mintz is better than RJ Davis.
Yeah, 31st in Bayesian performance rating in the ACC. Judah Mintz.
And that's the ACC Player of the Year according to that one tweet. Like I texted this to you. I could tweet that Quadir Copeland is an all ACC player, and 100 people on Syracuse Twitter would like it.
I haven't interacted very much with Syracuse Twitter. I didn't even really interact with them today. Like the guy that was.
It's not a good Twitter to interact. Like Syracuse fans on Twitter, I think, really don't know what they're talking about. They're not funny. They're not smart. Like, no offense to the fan base, but I mean, I did come from UConn Twitter.
It's just like
it's like
Syracuse feels like
the 20th best account on UConn Twitter would be the best account on Syracuse Twitter.
Syracuse Twitter, like, it feels like it should be a part of Big East Twitter, like at least in like that like realm. But it's not. Like, it's not nearly as good.
There's not enough burners. That's what I think it is.
Is it all just like
honestly
old man yells at cloud?
Yeah. Honestly, I think it's too many people tweeting with their chest and not enough burners.
But the guy did you see the part where the guy said to me today, he's like, yeah, why don't you say that to Judah's face? I'm like, what? Like, what?
The Field of 68 just tweeted that Goodman sent out the tweet in February.
He was trying so hard to like do it exactly at 12, and like he could have just like scheduled the tweet.
That's what Rothstein does.
Yeah, Rothstein schedules. Like,
how far in advance do you think Rothstein has these tweets scheduled out?
I'm willing to bet that next year's This Is March tweet is already scheduled.
I'm willing to bet that like all of the This Is March tweets for the next like 30 years are scheduled right now. How far in advance does it? Okay, it doesn't allow you to schedule further than 2026.
Okay. I'm definitely willing to bet that next year's This Is March tweet has already been scheduled.
Oh,
whether that was in the last 11 minutes or not, I don't know. But
yeah, I can't tell you for certain.
How There's no okay. The things he tweets in the morning, right at like 6 Eastern when everyone's asleep. Do you think he does that every day? Like, do you think he goes and schedules it every day?
Absolutely.
Because I'm just thinking there's
it's
no way.
It's not just like every day is a gift. Like, he actually tweets like,
well, yeah, there's that one, but there's also repetitive ones. And
no, but there's also like the
I'm just thinking like how much time would it have taken him to like go and schedule like 6 months ahead of time?
I mean, what does he do for like that 2-month stretch of like May and June?
I mean, tweet out portal updates now, but like in like the late 2010s, like what was?
But like, yeah, at 6:08 a.m., Washington State will close the regular season with 3 straight games in Pullman starting tonight with USC. Like, he tweets that stuff out.
It's, by the way, it's crazy that like we won, and this wasn't that long ago, that we like once lived in a world where like the national championship ended and that was just it. Like, we just didn't have anything else. Now we get the portal for 2 months.
Like, we had the coaching carousel.
Yeah, but like, you've said this to me before. Like, you like the portal because it like keeps the season going for an extra month and a half.
Yeah, no, I said this 2 years ago, I think.
Mm-hmm. Like, one of the highlights I'd say of all
somebody quote tweeted the Goodman tweet and said the clocks at Buffalo Wild Wings always run a bit fast. Finest dining. Speaking of which, I had to honor Mr. Goodman tonight with the Buffalo Wild Wings.
Here was my nightly snack.
Gotta love it.
Cole inspired me. He was tweeting about cookies, and I'm like, you know what? I know I have a DoorDash gift card sitting in my drawer. Oh, are those ice cream sandwiches?
It is.
Those are so good.
I'm gonna have one right now. 8.5 minutes into the show. 0 basketball discussed.
Real quick before we actually like do discuss basketball.
Are we actually going to discuss basketball on the show?
Yes.
Like, is it just?
Yes. On the subject of ice cream sandwiches, have you ever been to Cooperstown Dreams Park?
No.
They have like the greatest ice cream cookie sandwiches in the world. My brother went there for his tournament, and I think he had like 2 a day for like 5 straight days.
Wow. How far is Cooperstown from Amsterdam? Gotta be like an hour. It's an hour. Definitely will. Depending on the schedule, I could just go to the Hall of Fame inauguration.
You could.
Well, depending on the schedule.
Yeah, you could. I'm currently doing my like bi-weekly activity of like looking at St. Mary's Torvik ranking since like they lost to Missouri State.
Oh, you want to play our favorite game?
What's our favorite game?
Guess the St. Mary's score.
Oh, yes. I would love to. How much time's left?
Halftime. Pepperdine.
Pepperdine's not good. I'm going to say 49-29 St. Mary's.
Wow. 51-28.
I'm so good at this. So good at this.
You should put this on your resume under special skills.
Can guess a St. Mary's score at any given moment of the game.
It's honestly really impressive. Like Adobe Suite, Microsoft Excel can guess a St. Mary's score.
Speaking of resumes, by the way, St. Mary's is 7th in Torvik since Christmas Eve. They're 15-0 in that span. Doesn't look like they're going to be going to 15-1 tonight. Houston, UConn, Purdue, Tennessee, Auburn, Iowa State, the teams ahead of them. I think everyone can agree that the 6 teams I just read off ahead of St. Mary's are Final Four contenders. What I'm basically trying to say is St. Mary's is going to end up being like a 7 seed, and they're going to maybe be better than the two seed in their quad.
Here's my thing. Why doesn't everything that we said about St. Mary's when they were playing against good teams week in, week out hold up right now?
Like, why does the fact that like they aren't consistently playing up to competition, why is that being ignored? Pretty much.
Why is the fact no. Why is the fact that when they did play against good teams, we had legitimate concerns about what they did offensively and defensively, and they haven't played good teams aside from Gonzaga and San Francisco,
who they didn't score against Gonzaga. Gonzaga's defense is good, but they didn't score against them.
My concern with St. Mary's is that we saw this team against other great teams, and they looked bad.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point.
And I don't think that anything that now this is a very like I just what makes this St. Mary's team better? Like, do you think the St. Mary's team is better than last year?
No.
Is it better than 2 years ago?
Yeah.
I would say no. I think 2 years ago was better than this one.
I don't know. Like
that team had Matthias Tass and Tommy Kuzi and Logan Johnson, Dukas, and that team was really good. They were 17th in KenPom. They beat Notre Dame and Oregon and Utah State in non-conference play. They beat Gonzaga at home. They beat that really, really good San Francisco team twice. I think that was a better team than this. Just because this team,
I'd still say I'd like this team's chances to play up to competition, to better competition.
I would think that
because they have a go-to like scorer in Mahaney. Like, don't get me wrong, Kuzi was great, but like
they do theoretically have a go-to scorer in Mahaney. A guy who's only got 4 KenPom game MVPs all year. Like, yeah. I feel like we're coasting off of our preseason evaluation with Mahaney. He has more games with under 8 points than he does where he won KenPom game MVP. Like, so, I love Aiden Mahaney. I think he's a star. But I'm hesitant to say that
do you think they're tricking the metrics?
Yes, absolutely. Dude,
to what extent?
Look at their final scores, dude.
I know, but to what extent?
They beat Pepperdine. They beat Pepperdine 103-59. They won a game 76-28. Yes, of course they're tricking the metrics.
I don't think, like, listen, they're not the 7th best team in the country, which is what Torvik has them since December 24th. But like KenPom has them as the 22nd best team in the country.
That seems a little bit fair.
22nd?
Yeah. But I think
nobody is trying to argue that St. Mary's is like a national championship contender. Or even really a Final Four contender.
Yeah, no, that's fine. But you said earlier on the show that they could be better than the 2 seed. No.
Yeah, and that's more an indictment.
There's no 2 seed that they're better than.
That's more an indictment on like who the 2 seed
unhealthy be. Kansas they are.
Yeah, that was kind of what I was implying there. I should have been more specific. But like, no, they're not better than Marquette. No, they're not better than Tennessee. No, they're not better than Arizona. No,
I would take Marquette, Tennessee, and Carolina by at least. I would take them with 7.5. Again,
the Carolina game would give me pause. The Marquette game would give me pause. Tennessee, I'd take in a heartbeat.
I would take 7.5 with
Tennessee. Just has a level of athlete that St. Mary's doesn't have.
As I said, I would take 7.5 with all 3 of those teams. I just think that they're better at what they do than St. Mary's is. I don't really think St. Mary's is like their defense has been really good in conference play, Like, they're just not facing good athletes.
I mean, you know what's funny about this conversation is like this is the Gonzaga conversation that we've had that like people have had for years.
Yeah, but like the difference with that Gonzaga team is they would win the games early in the season.
They also had a level of athlete that St. Mary's doesn't have. Like, no offense to Josh Jefferson,
and also Josh Jefferson's hurt.
No offense to any of those guys on St. Mary's teams, but they don't have a Jalen Suggs athlete.
Like, dude, Josh Jefferson's hurt. He might be out for the season.
Yeah.
If Josh Jefferson's out for the season, are we sure this is a top 30 team?
Definitely brings up the question because their bench isn't very deep to begin with.
They have like Howell and Barrett are the only two guys that have come off the bench tonight. I thought Jordan Ross would be a lot better than he has been. Hand up, I still think he's going to be really good next year.
Yeah, I mean, I love this high school.
Oh, and Wessels too, but he's hurt as well.
Yeah, I do think they'll lose to Gonzaga on Saturday.
I would agree. I think Gonzaga, like, I feel like people are. St. Mary's is going to be a super trendy Sweet 16 pick. And I have no reason to say.
I don't think they will be.
I think they will. Absolutely.
I kind of like.
At least among like relatively smart people, I think they will be. Like, I think that there's going to be like an outthink the people with like a St. Mary's take from some people that we really respect. And I'm just going to come out and say, I don't buy this St. Mary's team. They're really good, but they showed us who they are in November.
I tried to do the opposite with St. Mary's last year. I tried to outthink the room the other way.
Like, I just thought VCU was really going to be able to give their guards trouble, but Ace Baldwin got hurt. So
yeah, that game was
that's
over.
The A10 player of the year and maybe the defensive player of the year in the Big Ten this year.
Have you seen that discourse on Twitter? That's been fun.
What discourse?
Between like Raphael Davis and Illinois fans. Who think Terrence Shannon should be defensive player of the year?
Why?
On a team that's like god awful defensively.
Like, why? Like,
it's a great
good defender.
And the best part of it is like both sides are using like individual games as like
he's not the best defender on that team.
Shannon?
I'm not sure he is.
No, he's not.
I mean, what Hawkins is able to do for them is really impressive.
Totally agree.
And
I'm the biggest Coleman Hawkins fan on the planet.
I like Garrier too defensively.
What about Ty Rogers? He defends his butt off.
He does. I'll give him that.
They just don't play good team defense. Like
no, they have a bunch of. If I'm being honest, Shannon's fine. Damask is a pretty bad defender. I don't think Harmon's good.
Yeah, I mean, but we knew that coming into the year.
I just think that like Rogers is fine, Garrier's fine, Coleman's good. Shannon wouldn't be in my top conversation.
My dad and I were discussing this last night because he was watching the Illinois game and he called me up and was like, "Wow, what's up with Shannon's defense? Like, I remember him being such a good defender at Texas Tech, and it's like, yeah, like that team played in a lot more structure than this Illinois team does."
I would say it's Ace Baldwin, Zach Edey are probably, and Cliff. That's probably the top three.
The real take we should have here is like Zach Edey should probably be the defensive player of the year in the Big Ten, and he's not going to win it.
I would say I think it's Baldwin, But if you give it to Edie, I wouldn't be disappointed in you.
I just think his improvement.
I just think like there are like I just think like very few guys on that Penn State team actually guard. And Baldwin has to take the toughest matchup every game, and he does a good job of it.
– Yeah.
But if you're
fair point.
factoring in team defense, then yeah, Edie.
I think Edie's improvements in ball screen defense, combined with obviously his rim protection ability at 7'4", have
It's
been.
not even the rim protection; it's the rim deterrence.
Yes, because he is a better defender than last year,
Significantly,
without a doubt.
Do you remember the Rothstein tweet that was like,
yes,
Zach Edey had more block shots?
I feel like we talked about this the other day.
We did because of the Will Warren reply.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Your bracket Bible has 18 views. My article has 8.
Huh. Let's go. I'm him. Nebraska, Ohio State, by the way, like spoiler alert, like my next article that I'm going to start writing tonight is going to be on Ohio State's NCAA tournament chances.
Okay. I like that. I was honestly thinking about doing the same thing.
They're playing like a top 4 team in the Big Ten right now, maybe top 3.
Dude, like, would you be surprised? Like, here, let me pull up the Big Ten tournament bracket. Midwest, Big Ten.
bball.nothing.net strikes again.
Yeah, just
great website.
Okay, they're gonna get the 9 seed probably. So they do have to. They got to beat Purdue.
Is that like for sure? I mean, they have what, 2 more games left?
I mean, if you lose to Michigan, you get the 10 seed.
Well, they can't lose to Michigan and like get a bid without an auto bid. So
if you lose to Rutgers, you get the 11 seed, which means you have to win 5 games in 5 days. But that path would be Michigan, Michigan State, Northwestern, Illinois.
I mean, I'd pick them to win the first 3, I think.
And at that point,
nobody's winning 5 in 5 days, though. Like,
yeah, no. I'm thinking if they just straight up beat Purdue
again, dude, if they beat Purdue twice, like,
they're in.
How do you not?
Even if they lose to like Nebraska in the next round.
Mm-hmm.
You know what would be funny? 13th seeded Indiana against 9th seeded Ohio State in the semifinal.
Is Indiana getting some new players that I'm unaware of?
I'm just saying. I just needed to mention that Indiana's the projected 13 seed on bball.notnothing.net.
I was told they were locked for another NCAA tournament appearance. I'm not even sure they're going to be an NIT team at this point.
No, they shouldn't be. Get ready to learn Tony Patelis, buddy.
Sam Fetterman covers basketball today. Watch and learn was one of the greatest tweets I've ever seen.
It was really good. You want to guess the Gonzaga score?
How much time?
8:59.
This game is being played at the Chase Center, by the way.
Yes, I know.
62-51 Zags.
68-46.
Wow. They're hammering them.
It's 33-12 in the second half. It's a shellacking.
If you were an NCAA tournament team, you would rather see St. Mary's than Gonzaga in round 2, right?
I honestly think they're both sweet.
They're both what?
I don't think either of those teams are truly like all that great. I would probably say Gonzaga has more offensive firepower, but they don't shoot it.
Correct.
And I'm not saying they don't make threes. They don't take threes. They also don't make threes.
Yeah, I just like wonder. I just wonder with them because, like, you're right. They lost their best non-con win was Syracuse,
Yeah,
right?
I would say it's Yale.
But the Yale game was at home. Syracuse was on a neutral.
Still, I would say it's Yale. I don't care. That's what I think of this Syracuse team. And this Yale team, for what it's worth. I think they're awesome. Wait, was someone injured for Yale in that game? No, they were healthy.
But yeah, Gonzaga missed all their big opportunities in non-con.
Danny
Really,
Wolf scored 0 points.
It wasn't that many. Like, they anticipated a lot of these teams being better than they were. They also didn't anticipate giving up 84 to San Diego State at home.
They also didn't anticipate losing to Mike Hopkins.
They get a win tonight?
Washington?
Yeah, I know they're playing UCLA right now.
87-74 Huskies.
The Mick Cronin wheels have once again fallen off.
Man, it's a shame.
Holy shit, Keon Brooks has 30.
Remember when we were going to wear bald caps on Selection Sunday?
Dude, we still might.
No.
Don't count out Mick Cronin. The second you count out Mick Cronin is when you've lost.
By the way, Washington State made that comeback. They're now up on USC.
So USC might be like the real team that you like want to pick as a sleeper in that tournament.
Why? Because they beat Utah and UCLA?
They're healthier now.
They're healthier, but they are pathetically coached.
Dude, every team in that league is pathetically coached, except for like Arizona and Washington State.
I don't think Craig Smith's bad.
Nah, it's just a tough place to win.
I don't think Nick's bad. I
think he's been bad this year.
I don't think Madsen's bad. I think Madsen's terrific.
They are having a good year.
I just think he's a terrific coach, straight up.
You telling me what Jalen Tyson was averaging today was like a complete revelation for me.
Really?
Yeah.
He had 25 last night. Like, he had 25, 5, and 4. Like, ho-hum.
Cal, weirdly has, multiple players with, the strangest college career paths.
Cal's not a bad team.
No, they're not.
I'm going to just take a look at what the Pac-12 tournament is going to look like.
What day did Jalen Tyson come back?
I don't know.
I'm going to look it up.
But, Cal is the 6th seed in this Pac-12 tournament, according to this.
Tyson.
USC on night 1, Colorado on night 2. Are we sure am I sure I'm not picking them to go to the semifinals?
Repeat that one more time. USC on night 1, Colorado on night 2.
Yeah.
Those are both doable.
And honestly, I think Washington State's winnable too.
I might just flip a coin for some of those games.
I might flip a coin for the entire thing, aside from Oregon State.
Someone said like Arizona is just gonna like roll through that tournament and then lose in the Sweet 16.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of what they did 2 years ago. Because, like, remember, UCLA was good, and, like, 2 years ago, I wouldn't call it a blowout, but they handled them in the 2022.
No, that was really good stuff. That was a comfortable victory.
Yeah, it was 84-76, but, like, Arizona led pretty much the entire way.
No, UCLA led in the second half.
They trailed at half, but, like, the second half, Arizona dominated.
No. UCLA went on a run, and then Arizona went on a run. But, like, yeah, Arizona was the best team maybe in college basketball for a long time that year.
Yeah, you could argue that. I know that was your national champion that year.
Yeah, and I don't regret picking them because of how good they were. I regret picking them because I just shouldn't have thought a first-year head coach was going to win that many games against great coaches. And then last year, I had them at number 1 coming out of Maui, and then they got shit-stomped by Utah.
They seem to do that. Seems to be like a yearly occurrence at this point. Not getting shit-stomped by Utah, but just like that early Pac-12 game where they just like looked terrible.
The Stanford game this year?
Yeah, that was one of the more shocking results of the season, I'd say.
I mean, there's not much you can do when Stanford hits 16 threes.
Was that the game Stojakovic was really good?
I mean, he had 16 points. That game was like the Kanan Carlisle game. That's Caden Carlisle's only KenPom game MVP.
That was not a freshman that I had my eye on this offseason.
Yeah, I kind of think Stojakovic has been really underwhelming.
I mean, it depends what you kind of thought of him to begin with.
I mean, I just thought he would be a little bit more consistent.
He was a McDonald's All-American, was he not?
Yeah, he's only scored 10 points 3 times in 2024.
He was one of the McDonald's All-Americans that I didn't really think had any business being in that game.
I mean, I had him as like a top 30 recruit, I think.
Him and a couple other Pac-12 kids from that class.
I had him 21st. Right below Aiden Holloway.
You know what I just realized was like one of my worst predictions of the class, and like we've talked about him so much, and everyone has talked about him so much. I'd have to go back and find it. I did an article last spring on like the top 10 incoming SEC freshmen, and I don't think Reed Sheppard was in the top 10.
Yeah, I think I missed on Reed Sheppard as well. Actually, I had him 24th on my freshman rankings.
Who in the world was coming out and saying like Reed Sheppard and Rob Dillingham are the 2 best Kentucky freshmen?
I had DJ at 4, Edwards at 5, but like I had Reed at 24 and Rob at 41.
I challenge you to find somebody who had Sheppard and Dillingham as the best 2 Kentucky freshmen.
No, nobody did. Dude, more people had Zvonimir Ivasic as a top 2 Kentucky freshman. I'm looking right at you, buddy, Ryan Hammer.
Big Z.
Looking right, man. I had Jordan. I had this is a list of names. 30, Dennis Evans. 31, Jordan Ross. 32, Scotty Middleton.
I have to go back and find
real Dennis Evans was the friends we made along the way.
Let's see what else I had here. Oh, I had John Vite 7th. He like doesn't play.
I had him 9th. I had Mara 3rd.
I had Mara 3rd too. I still believe in his skill set.
He's got bricks of feet though.
Omaha Blue 13th doesn't play.
I still believe in Miro Little. I think he's gonna. I
do too. My problem is like, is he gonna be the 3rd best guard for Baylor next year?
Is he even gonna be at Baylor next year?
That's a good point. Omaha Blue 13th doesn't play.
I shouldn't have had him over Jared McCain though.
Wesley Yates 15th. He doesn't play, but that's not because of his. That's not his fault. That's I refuse to believe that's the coach's fault more than his.
I mean, I think he's hurt.
Did he even play at the start of the year though?
No, he hasn't. He hasn't seen the floor.
Josh Hubbard 25th.
Yates hasn't seen the floor. Like Yates is going to be really good next year for some team, whether it's Washington or somebody else. The real miss that I had was Deshaun Harris-Smith at 12.
I mean, like looking back at this, obviously there were some misses. They're going to be with every freshman class, but I did have some really, really good ones.
Yeah, I think we both had Hubbard a lot higher than most people. Oh man, we both missed on Cody Williams.
I had Blue Kane 31st.
I had Blue Kane not in here.
Day-Day Ames, who's been really good. I had 37th.
I did not have Day-Day Ames on here.
I had Owen Freeman top 50.
Oh, I had Finley Bizjack at 51.
I had Cam Christie top 52.
Oh, I didn't have Cam Christie. Your list was probably better than mine.
I ranked 63 guys. I'm already past that number for this next class, and it's
I have like 4 people ranked.
Yeah, I just didn't.
I had Price Sanford in my top 40.
I like Price a lot,
dude. He's playing less than 10 minutes a game.
I was probably gonna end up being like your sleeper in the Big Ten next year.
Dude, Iowa. I'm gonna pick Iowa top 25 next year.
Yeah, I mean they're gonna bring back
the way Fran develops. They've got
Freeman, Dix,
Harding, Sanford, those 3, those could be all Big Ten first and second.
I'm still a huge Josh Dix believer too.
Dix is good,
and I think Perkins has eligibility left.
I'm not sure I even want him to come back at this point.
I think they could use his defense.
No, they could, but I want to see Harding.
I do want to see Harding play a bigger role.
I want to see them let Harding cook.
They also have a top 70 kid, I think, in Cooper Koch coming in, who I think probably will come off the bench and he'll struggle defensively, but he can space the floor for them.
This is an off-season topic.
Yeah.
By the way, Pepperdine is coming back. It's 65-51.
What was the spread?
A lot.
15.5. That's right there. Gonzaga getting a quad 1 win by 22 points was so crucial for them.
Yeah, this is gonna put them in the top 20 of KenPom. What else did you see tonight that you enjoyed?
Oh, let's go through this. I was kind of in and out all night. Not because I was busy. I was just exhausted for some reason.
I think that we have to give a shout out.
Charleston's sneaky, just rolling.
I don't think it's sneaky right now. They're straight up really damn good.
Took care of Towson earlier last week by 16. Won at Delaware by 19.
I mean, they've won 8 in a row. They started 5-4. Since then, they're 18-3.
And I find it hard to imagine they'll lose to Wilmington for a third time, right?
Are we even sure Wilmington gets there?
No, I mean there are a plethora of teams that could take out both Charleston and Wilmington in that league.
Hold on.
I just remembered the other day that it's now the Coastal Athletic Conference.
Oh, I remember that every day just because I cover that league somewhat. Let me just make sure I have this right. Elon, Towson, Hampton, Hofstra, Drexel, Delaware, and Charleston. So
Keystone Dunbar 28 tonight for Hofstra, by the
he's
way.
a superstar.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, dude, Wilmington's the 5 seed right now.
Really?
Yeah.
That league just has so many fun players.
Wilmington right now is not getting a double bye unless they beat Towson on Saturday at home. So they probably will get a double bye.
I know that like you ideally want the double bye so you don't have to play the extra game, but the bottom of the league is so bad that
No, but you want the double bye. Although I will say I think Monmouth is dangerous.
yeah, I don't know if it was Dylan that said it, but I saw somebody say it. That like Monmouth could be the team to like watch out for as a sleeper.
I think Monmouth is a lot more dangerous than Delaware is.
Totally agree. Totally agree.
Even though Delaware is probably going to get a seed higher, I think that you don't want so right now it will be Hofstra as the 2, Monmouth as the 7. Campbell, I don't think Campbell's any good.
Don't disrespect the Fighting Camels.
Dude, they get so much. I think it's just because I followed Trevor Everett.
I think that's maybe who said it.
What, that Campbell's good?
No. That like Monmouth is the sleeper.
No, but since he's at all the Campbell games, I feel like I see way too much Campbell content. They're not good.
You know who was off tonight that saved us an extra 20 minutes of podcast time?
What?
UC Riverside.
Uh-oh, what happened?
I just went to check to see if they won tonight. They didn't play.
Okay.
Saves us about 20 minutes.
Yeah. Although Big West, Cal State Bakersfield gets a big time win against UC San Diego, which means UC Irvine is now in sole possession of first place.
That's a surprise team right there.
What'd you say?
A surprise team.
Yeah, they unfortunately cannot make the NCAA tournament this year.
Mm-hmm. That is true.
But yeah, I mean, just another night in the Big West.
That conference tournament should be really, really fun. Obviously, we're gonna have to stay up
there's a chance
for the crack of dawn to watch these games. But
I mean, let's be honest. We basically do that right now.
It's true. Probably not the greatest, but
the America East. You see, Bryant got that. Sorry. Wait, hold on. I
thought Mass Lowell won that game.
Yeah. UMass Lowell got the win by 20.
Yeah,
that's what I was going to say. Connor Withers got ejected. That's what it was.
Okay.
Yeah. So the America East. Just 2 more games coming up for each team, or at least 2 more game days.
That conference tournament's really spaced out, isn't it?
Yeah, Albany got a 91-67 win against UNH tonight, thanks to 26 and 14 from Amari Marshall. Don't let them get hot.
How was the Lemoyne game?
It was great. Lemoyne's awesome, but back to the America East. Back to the America East. Right now, bracket looks like Vermont against Albany in the first round, UNH against UMBC, UMass Lowell against Maine, Bryan against Binghamton. I would go chalk in all of those, chalk in the semis, and chalk in the final. That's going to be a boring conference tournament.
I mean, it always is. Nobody can beat Vermont.
There's one more Patriot League game day?
That sounds right. Their conference tournament's pretty early, so.
Yeah, just one more Patriot League game day. And at the moment, we are not far away from the potential of, if Lehigh beats Colgate, Lafayette, if Lehigh beats Colgate and Bucknell beats Lafayette, Lafayette is the 6th seed.
Yeah, that would be a shame after the start to conference play they had.
They would have to go to Boston University in the first round. Just there's one way to avoid that.
Who's won 4 in a row, by the way,
including a game against Lafayette, I think.
No, they beat Lehigh last
Lehigh,
night.
yeah, that's right.
On the
I
road.
thought Lehigh was playing really well recently.
Yeah, you texted me that the other day.
But
and
yeah,
and like they were
still in play though for Lafayette.
Yeah, 2 seeds still in play. I mean, Bucknell on the road's not super easy. American does get Navy at home.
American's gonna get that 2 seed though.
Yeah.
Wait, no, actually, if Lafayette and American,
I was gonna say, I've just had a brain.
I still think Bucknell probably beats Lafayette though. They took them to overtime in Easton, and they're playing a lot better. And I think they got a really good coach in John Griffin. They got a fun team with Jack Forrest, Rope Bijak, and Elvin Edmonds, all those guys. Mm-hmm. Grand Canyon needed a win tonight against UT Rio Grande Valley, and they got it.
Yeah, pretty handily too.
Dude, I am way too lazy to make a bracketology tomorrow. But I have to because slate maps are coming.
I think I'm going to do one on Sunday before conference.
Can you just do one tonight so I don't have to?
No. After we're done here, I'm going to write interview questions for tomorrow, and then I'm going to go work on an article.
I have 245 slides to study
for an exam tomorrow.
Yep. Do I have to write discussion questions for that other class as well? You know, I think we should take this off the air.
Should we close it here?
Take us home.
All right. If you came to hear about Tyler Self's job, where he's working, you came to the right place. If you came to hear about Sam Fetterman's studying habits, apparently you came to the right place. And if you came to hear about
brackets, bubbles, and bidstealers.com, you came to the right place. And Jonathan.
And if you came to hear about Caleb Grill and what he's up to, you came to the right place. Season 4, episode 49 of Brackets, Bubbles, and Bid Stealers. We'll see you next time.